I actually shot this video yesterday, but yesterday I worked from 9:30 until 4:30, and then after the kids went to bed, I went back to work for a little bit, because I get into these, sometimes I have these days where I have so many things in my mind, and I try and get through everything as fast as I can. So yesterday was a really busy, chaotic, overwhelming day, in a good way. But when I tried to shoot the video for you guys, I was just a rambling mess. So we're gonna try again. Nick took the kids out to a playground for a little bit so that I'd get some peace and quiet to try and do this. It's actually a pretty nice morning. I mean, it's really cold here, which is why I'm literally wearing a big, huge, oversized turtleneck sweater and a hat. But I have so many things to show you, and some announcements to make. Okay, I'm gonna keep my cool. So you saw my post with this blocking. It is officially done, and it turned out so pretty. I still have to take out my sleeve parts, and I still obviously have to weave in all of my ends, but I love it. I actually very rarely get finished object photos done, but I think I might try and do that with this one because I really am happy with how it turned out. I love this scallop edging and how it turned out. I already have plans to make another one, which segues into what I'm going to show you next. And last time I talked about my yarn acquisitions, I had mentioned that there's something else in the mail that was coming. Well, it arrived, and I finally opened it yesterday because they're all sealed in their own individual plastic bags. It's kind of wasteful, but okay. So I kind of have plans for both of these. One of them is definitely going to be a Forager sweater, which is designed by Melody Hoffman, who's kind of my designer crush right now. So, okay, I'm just gonna show you. So this is Plotulopi. It is Icelandic wool, and she uses this yarn a lot for a lot of her designs. So I got the color beige, and my plan was to hold it. You have to hold it, you can see here. Let me put this down and see if I can do this. So you're supposed to hold it, focus, double, hold this double, and then hold it with a strand of mohair. Because this breaks apart really easily, apparently. Let's just test this out. If it focuses. Not super easy. I can feel the fibers breaking, but yeah. So, don't worry, I only pulled a small piece. You hold this double, and then you hold it with a strand of mohair to help reinforce it. So now I need to decide what mohair to hold with this. We have a very busy street, city life. So I can either go really neutral, but I'm not sure if it washes me out, or I could hold it with a really fun mohair. And the other color that I got is this beautiful mustard yellow. And it's really cool. If you look on this side, you can see that there's kind of a few little red flakes mixed in. So one of these, I mean, both of them are technically going to be sweaters. I know that I want this one to be a Forager because it's so classic, timeless, it's a color that I think will age really nicely. I just love how heathered it is. And then this one I was thinking might be fun to do. She's releasing, so Melody Hoffman is the same designer as this guy, and she's going to be releasing a cardigan version, and she uses a yarn very similar to this, and she knits it in the round and then you steek it. I had started a steek project earlier this year, but I saw her method of steeking because this wool felts really easily. So she ended up actually using like a needle felting tool and felted her steek, and then she just cut it. And I was like, okay, I want to do that version because at least I know, or I would know that as long as I made sure to felt it really good, I feel pretty confident that I could cut through my knitting without worrying. So that is what I wanted to show you in terms of new yarn that I have personally purchased that's not Hello Stella. I showed you my tulip, and I also, still not dry yet, but I finished my first sock. Let's see if I can get this to show up in camera nicely. I'm so excited. I learned a lot, and because I was selected to test knit, I had put in for one of two sizes and said that I would happily knit either one. One of them being smaller, obviously. I think the smaller one would have been better for my foot because I have very narrow feet, but this one does fit. And where I noticed a couple of things in terms of my foot size is it's super wide right here at the heel, but I've never knit a fingering weight sock for myself before, so I started to panic getting closer to where I needed to work this other chart, and I was panicking in the sense that I was going to knit it too long or too short. I ended up going too short, but because of the extra ease in here for my foot, it ended up working out pretty good. But I am blocking it so that hopefully when I try it on, I don't feel like I'm super stretching it. I still have to cast on the second one, which I'm gonna do this weekend, and then I'm just gonna like work on it here and there, I think. Hopefully by the end of this month, I'll have a new sock. Happy October! I should have started with that or led with that. But yeah, so I have 1.5 maybe finished objects. But I needed to get both of these off of my needles because I got selected to test knit Melody Hoffman's pattern Into the Woods, and it's a jumper. It's got these beautiful, it's a circular yoke, and it's got this beautiful textural, it is stranded color work technically, but it's all trees right here. I'm very excited, which leads me to the yarn that I'm going to be using. So if you remember from my last video, when we went to the knitting loft, I had one impulse purchase, and that was this guy. Can't see. And this is the yarn that the pattern calls for. So I'm not going to be using entirely all of this brand of yarn. I'm going to use it for my color work. So this will be my trees. And then I'm going to be pairing it with plie, which I think is going to be a really, really pretty combination. And I don't have anything knit in plie, so it works out. So that is really exciting. I'm hoping to start this weekend now that the yarn is dyed up, which kind of segues into my next thing I'm going to share with you. Let me just have a sip of coffee, calm myself down. Okay, so this is a new base. This is Aran weight, and it's non-superwash. I'm really excited. I'm gonna be over the next few weeks introducing 4 new bases into my shop. And like my level of excitement is, I think I'm probably driving Nick a bit crazy with how excited I am. But this is a 100% organic South American merino. So there's nothing added to it. The yarn is not chemically treated in any way until I dye it, of course. But it is so pretty, and the text, like for a non-superwash yarn, I mean, it does have this rustic feel to it, but it is still so soft and it is so squishy. So I cannot wait to get started on knitting this up. I'm hoping to make a pretty big dent, get to the color work at least this weekend. We'll see. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. So yes, okay. That is the Aran weight. The 3 other bases that I'm bringing in, there will be a 5th, but there are still yarn shortages. It's starting to get a bit better, but it's still essentially send an email and hope that they have something in stock, and if they don't, you have to go to plan B. So this first yarn was a plan B because my first pick wasn't available. But now that I have it in my hands, I'm like, it is so cool. So this is a fingering weight, non-superwash yarn. It is a black wool and a white, like a bare, they're all bare, so it's a black wool and a white wool spun together. And what it does is it kind of creates this hand spun look, and I think that this is going to really help showcase some of the semi-solids that I have. I'm actually planning to knit Vanna sweater, and I think I'm gonna do Gold Rush for him, because the last sweater that I knit for him was for his first birthday, and it was done with the Van collection. It's just a little t-shirt because it was like summer, but it was the Van collection in the Vanagon colorway. And because he has such blue eyes, I love yellow on him. I think it just pops. So I'm thinking of dyeing this up in Gold Rush, just to test. But it's so pretty. I love it so much. And again, like the squish factor, do I have a regular? I don't think I have a regular. I do have a regular sock weight superwash yarn. I have one of my bird clubs here. Don't worry, it's an old one. I'm not sharing any spoilers. Okay, so this is a skein of my superwash fingering weight. And then look at the size difference in these skeins. So fun. So it's like super lofty. Oh, wait for this to. Super lofty, it's very rustic, still surprisingly soft. I'm very excited to get these into the pots, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I will also be introducing a non-superwash DK. And this, just like the Aran, is a 100% organic South American merino. Nothing has been added to it. There's no synthetic fibers. It's not chemically treated, obviously, until it's dyed. But I'm super excited. And then this is it next to the Aran weight. So, I can't wait. That is the DK. And then this one is gonna be a new bulky weight. It's gonna be a test. Gonna see how it does in the shop. So I only ordered a little bit. But it is 100% baby alpaca. I wish that you guys could reach through the screen and feel how soft it is. It's incredible. This would be perfect to be held double with a mohair because alpaca has like no memory to its fiber. Sheep's wool, you can stretch it and it bounces back. Alpaca over time will just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. So if you were knitting a shawl, maybe not the end of the world to just hold this by itself or like a cowl or something. But if you were knitting a hat, you would definitely want to hold it with a strand of mohair so it keeps its memory. But it is so soft, it's like butter. Nick held it this morning and I let him hold the other non-superwash yarns first, and then he held this and he was like, holy shit, that's soft. So I'm very excited. So there's lots of changes coming to Hello Stella, all for the best. I'm actually doing a bit of a tidy up on my website right now. It's on password mode, so nobody can go on except for me, or if you have the password, which nobody has the password. But yeah, I'm just gonna be streamlining things. Tiny bit of a rebrand. I've been using the same yarn labels for 3 years now. I love them. I mean, it's super bold. People always tell me that they recognize my labels, so that's the part that scares me a little bit. Is I've been told that this is what people see when, I mean, it is what you see when you see my yarn, but I hope that the yarn speaks louder than the yarn label. So I am going to be doing a rebrand. Not very big, but right now the way I do things is, you can see here, this is my fingering weight superwash yarn, and it's called Basic Stella, and then all of the information's here, and then the name of the colorway is right there. Every time I get a new base, this is what I have to do. I have to think of what I'm going to call that base so that it stands out and it's different from any other base. But it's getting to be a bit hard, and I feel like it's a little chaotic and a little disjointed. So to make things more streamlined and simpler and easier, I think, for everybody, anything that I currently carry that has superwash merino is now going to go by the name of Simply Stella. And here are the new labels. I worked on them all day yesterday. So Simply Stella by Hello Stella Fibers. It still has the same font that I was using before. It's just a little bit more simple. So on my website, it will now say Simply Stella Fingering, and then that listing will have a photo of every color that I have dyed on that base. So you would choose your colorway. Kind of like when you go onto like a yarn shop's website and you search for something and it's just that one base, all of the colors, and you choose from like a drop down menu or whatever. So from now on it will be Simply Stella, and this will be Simply Stella Fingering, Simply Stella DK, Simply Stella Slub, which is my Savvy, and then Simply Stella Bulky, which is Big Stella. I am going to be discontinuing 2 bases, and then Surrey and Mohair are going to move to the non-superwash line. So I can give you the full effect, because the Simply Stella is just a rebrand, but I'm launching an entire new line of yarn, which is all of the non-superwash. I really hope that all of this is making sense, because it's like a thing. I sometimes get really excited about stuff and then have a hard time explaining it in a clear way. So, okay, so we have Simply Stella. We saw the labels. Actually, okay, I can show you what the label will look like on the yarn. So that will be the new label. I think it's really nice. It doesn't take away from the yarn, but it still kind of grabs your attention. And then for the non-superwash line of yarn, that is going to go by Rustic Stella. And here's the label. I think this might be my favorite label. So, Rustic Stella by Hello Stella Fibers. And fun thing, so the font that I use for my current label, it's like a whole, I don't know what you call it, a whole suite where it's got like it's all done by the same. I use a website, Creative Market, and you can purchase fonts and designs and brushes from artists, and you can either use it for personal use or you can use it for commercial. And so I always do commercial because I'm using it for my business, but they're getting paid for their work, and they're then giving you the right to use it for your business. So the font that I purchased 3 years ago, this one right here, comes in these big bold block letters, and then the other half of the collection in that font was this beautiful cursive. So I'm finally using the cursive. So Rustic Stella by Hello Stella Fibers. Focus, 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 focus. What is it focusing on right now? There we go. With these beautiful florals, it's super simple. I think that it's just absolutely stunning. And then here is what it will look like on the yarn. It keeps focusing on my busy background. There we go. And then I'm very, very, very excited about this. Okay, so yes, I'm doing a mini rebrand, and I've already started working on the website. So I've got to go through and edit all of the listings, basically consolidate every listing that I currently have, and make one listing for fingering weight, one for DK, one for slub, one for bulky, and then from there I have to create a collection so that all Simply Stella yarns will show up under one collection together and make it super easy. I'm going to be making a subcategory for mini skein bundles because they did get mini skeins back in stock. And I've got 3 bundles coming next week, which I'm really excited about. And I want to make it super easy so that they're their own thing. So it'll be Simply Stella mini skein bundles or something. And then I'm going to be working on the rustic Stella, and that will hopefully launch in 2 weeks if I can get my button gear. Next week is Nick's birthday and Thanksgiving, so I have a lot of things that I want to do, but timing is going to be the big factor in all of this. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, I feel like I just put it all out there for you guys, and I'm really curious to know what you think of the rebrand. This is them side by side. So the Simply Stella flowers that I went with are called tansy flowers, and then this is like a whole bunch of different rustic florals, but they're all from the same Creative Suite package that I went with. I ended up altering the color, the hue and saturation on these. Tansy flower buds are actually yellow, so I might go back to the yellow, but I thought I needed to have something fun and pink in there, so I changed them. They kind of remind me of my mulberry color. But yeah, I'm really curious to know what you guys are gonna think. In terms of the base information, I was just printing it on the actual label and then sealing the label with a piece of tape. Going forward, I will be I don't know what the right term is, closing off the band, sealing the band with a sticker. And the sticker will have all of the base information. And then that way the band can work on any yarn in that collection. Keeps it super simple for me, I hope. And my mom, who's gonna come and help me one day a week. So yeah, that, I feel like I just put it all out there. And when you're talking to yourself in your bedroom alone, it kind of seems like underwhelming in a way, but I know that you guys will let me know what you think, I hope. Good or bad, I'm all ears for it. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up before I head down to work, and maybe I'll include some footage of me in the studio working. But yeah, that was a lot of information and a lot of show and tell and a lot of things. There will be lots more because I'm about to become very busy with studio work and test knits and just lots of things. Lots and lots of things. I actually haven't quilted in a really long time. I literally have 3 quilts that just need to be, like, to have their binding put on them. So I should probably do that. We're gonna be dropping the kids off at my mom's on Sunday. So hopefully I can take a couple hours and just get those done and off my plate, because it would be so nice. They're literally fully, is it 3? Yeah. There's one for my niece, which I haven't really shared, my Halloween advent, which it's already October 2nd. And then a throw size quilt that literally just need their binding. And then I've kind of procrastinated on my mom's quilt, but I don't need it until Christmas, so hopefully I can get that done. I guess I can. I was gonna send it off, but then I got all panicked because not all of my seams are perfect, and on some of the websites people are like, you have to make sure that it's perfectly flat and all your seams are pressed the right way, and I'm like, ooh, what if they're not? So anyways, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna get to work. I can't wait to get this video up for you guys. Hopefully this afternoon I can get Nick to help me edit it. And then I'll talk with you guys soon. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for being here, for supporting me, for listening to me ramble and basically just spew out all of my ideas and what's going on in my mind. Yeah, and we'll chat soon. Bye.